Hey guys, welcome to Unbiased Rugby. This week I'm going to talk about, not this week, but I'm going to actually chat about Super Rugby week 11. It was actually quite a good week of Super Rugby. I've actually been working quite hard, but I set up a streaming service just behind me on the TV, and I got to obviously mostly listen to the games, but also get to watch them a little bit while I'm working. Some of the games I did watch. Some frustrated me a lot, but yeah, let's chat about the game. I've got to say that from last week winning my Super Brew pool, this week I got the wooden spoon, so I'm back to my winning ways. So yeah, it's quite strange. But yeah, let's talk about the first game. Was the Hurricanes versus the Sunwolves. This was the only game that I got completely right. I won. I got a match point and I got score points. So I got that quite right. I honestly felt that the Hurricanes were going to be, they're way too strong. It's such a good side. I might put some money on them actually taking Super Rugby this year. I think they've got everything except for the blip that they had at the start of the season. They've won everything else. So I think they're the team to beat this year. Next game was the Stormers versus the Rebels. I did predict the Stormers would win. I don't think there's something strange. I thought the Rebels were under, I think it's Dion Wessels, started the season off really well, but then things just seem to have gone downhill quite quickly from there. I'm hoping that they can get back to their winning ways, maybe when they go back home, but yeah, it was kind of strange. I thought the Stormers played pretty well. So yeah, it was interesting. I must the Stormers pack's looking very strong. I think their front row is just amazing. With Kitsoff and Volkalo, Stephen Kitsoff and Volkalo, I think they're probably the two contenders for Springbok props. Next game was the Reds versus the Lions. Okay. You know, most of the teams that are in the SA conference, I can give them a little bit of a bar if they lose or they don't play too well. But the Lions are one of the few sides, probably the only South African side that I get quite kind of worked up. They've made the final 2 years in a row. They haven't lost that many players. Yes, I know they've changed the coach, but they're just so inconsistent. You know, last week they played so well, getting the Waratahs down to 0, and then this week they just, I don't know. They just let through some soft tries. Then they obviously came back in the second half, and they obviously ran out of time. You know, so if it was a 90-minute game, maybe they would have won. But yeah, it's against a team that they should have won. I started watching the game, and after the first half, I thought, you know what, this is just frustrating, and I only watched the highlights after that. So yeah, I just think they're better than that, and I think they need to. Something's just not gelling right. I think they have a serious problem at tight head. I think Ruan Dre just gives away too many soft penalties. He overextends too many times, and you know, it's something he could have fixed quite a long time ago. And they have a problem at scrum half. Two of the tries that came through were direct result of scrum half errors, passing to the wrong. Who's this in the background with the jersey? This is my wife teasing me because everyone's teasing me about the Bulls game, but I'll come back to that one later. So yeah, I think the Lions need to catch a wake up. I think they're going to find it difficult in New Zealand to play. I hope they can start gelling. I think their star players need to actually step up. We're talking Malcolm Marx, Franco Mostert, Kutsia at the fullback. Now these are guys that they're fairly good playmakers, and they need to step up. You know, I've been watching quite a few interesting shows, and they say, you know, you can have a workman-like team and they can all play together, but you do need your stars to perform on the day. You know, the Hurricanes have the Bonan Barrett, the Chiefs have Brodie Retallick. You know, so the Highlanders have two, Aaron Smith and Ben Smith. I'll come back to that one. Then The Blues versus the Jaguares. I'm very happy for the Jaguares. I think their new coaching structure seems to be working for them, and it was their first victory on New Zealand soil. But just as I'm happy for the Jaguares, I just think there's something seriously lacking at the Blues. And I don't know what it is. They've got the Ioane brothers. They've got some serious stars. I don't know who their hooker is, but he's also very, very good. And their captain. But there's something wrong, and I don't think it's at a coach level. I think there is a problem at coaching, but there's something wrong with the culture even above that. And I wrote in somebody else's show that if I look at where the Bulls were last year, the Bulls were, I think they got 15th or 16th place in Super Rugby. And now the Bulls are traditionally like a very, very strong South African side. Traditionally, they've won three championships, and they've always recruited internally. They've got good structures, taking players and coaching from internal. And even they eventually reached a point where they didn't know what they were doing, and they got outside help. They got Michelin, and he's revolutionized the way that the Bulls think, the way they play, and I think that's what needs to happen at the Blues. But above coaching level, there's just something wrong. I look at a coach like Johan Ackerman, and he took a team of the Lions and he made them a team. They played for each other. They got off the ball quicker. They defended better, and I think culture coming from the top, from CEO, from managing director, from director of rugby, from coach, all the way down, eventually filters to the players, because they've got the players. The players are there, and they just need something to change, a paradigm shift. Start thinking outside of the box. I expect to lose against all New Zealand sides when I play in New Zealand. That's just the way it is. That's the nature of Super Rugby. I don't expect any of the teams to win when they're over there, and when they do, it should be something to celebrate. And the Blues just aren't there. They haven't won a game against New Zealand opposition for I don't know how long, and now they've lost to the Jaguares at home. And so something needs to change, and I don't think there's any quick fix. I think it's a process. Just like the Bulls are on a process. 2-3 years time they'll be the kind of side. It's just the Blues need to do something. But I still think they can turn the corner, and they can turn the corner very, very quickly. But now we move on to was the Brumbies versus the Crusaders. I think I didn't personally watch the game, but the scoreline does reflect that it was a lot closer than it should have been. I don't think the Brumbies have performed well at all this year, and the Crusaders should have really, really knocked them. But like I said, I haven't watched the game, so I'm not going to really comment on it. And then we'll go to the game of the weekend. I did predict in Super Rugby that the Bulls would win. I just felt that the Bulls at home are very, very strong. But 29-28 is a reflection of a quality game. What I find amazing about New Zealand sides is there's the Highlanders with 30% of the ball, and they still win. And that's the sign of a quality side. And that's the Highlanders. They win games by not having the ball, and that's all about getting off the ground quicker, not having as many people in the ruck, defending better, and then taking your chances when you get them. And but it really must have been opposite day, because there was the South African side right in front of the posts, kicking for the corner to go for the drive. There's the New Zealand side getting a penalty way out on the side and going for the points. I look at, there were 3 kickable penalties by the Bulls, and that's 9 points. 9 points that they could have taken quite easily with Handre Pollard, and they didn't take it. So, but I can't say that that's the reason why they lost. And at the end of the day, you take your chances when you get them. But it could have changed the dynamic of the game. Taking that extra 3 points at halftime, it would have been 10-0 up, a lead by 10, and it makes the Highlanders need to chase the game a lot more. They've got to win. They've got to at least get 2 points, two scores. So it's But yeah, credit to the Highlanders. I think they're a quality outfit. They played really, really well. They brought on their bench at just the right time when the guys started tiring out, and they knew how to win. They got the penalty at the end and they won. So yeah, but coming back to the Bulls, because obviously people who watch my show, it's the team that I support. I think Handre Pollard is a shoo-in for Springbok fly half. I think he plays of all. Look, I like Yankees. He knows how to control a game, but Handre Pollard is I think he's just a little bit step above. He can play direct on the line. He's got a great boot. So yes, I think from a South African point of view, I think fly half's pretty sorted. Handre Pollard should be first choice fly half. There was talk of moving him out to 12. But I think from a game management point of view, him at 12 is probably the best place for him. And I have to give a shout out to the Bulls scrum. It's traditionally the Bulls have always had great set pieces scrums, and for last year, for a couple of years, it's just been bad. And I remember when John Mitchell came in, he said not only does he want to bring in a new style of game, but he wants to improve the traditional strengths of the Bulls. And the scrum was great. Now Trevor Inyankani. Now we've been battling with tight head for a while, and we've only really got full colour from the Stormers that can fill that position. But now with Trevor Inyankani, who's obviously moved from loose head to tight head, he's starting to take on that position. And I think he took 2 tight heads. That's a sign of a quality prop. So I think Adrian Strauss, another great player. And I think we've got our reserve hooker. Look, there's talk that he did put in his resignation papers and he can't play for a year. So, but yeah, I think from a forwards point of view, the South African sides are doing fairly well, and it's quite easy to make a Springbok side. But yeah, so overall, it was a great weekend of rugby. I've got to give a shout out to, I watched the Gloucester game last night against Bath, and I saw Francois Lowe back again. He didn't have the greatest of games, but it was just nice to see him back on the field. Great player. But yeah, I think if I'm looking at the Northern Hemisphere rugby, it's a little bit more structured. And they take their points when they're on offer. They apply the pressure, 16, 17 phases. And it's a grinding out a win. And I think from a Southern Hemisphere point of view, we obviously need to start learning that grind. But yeah, thanks for watching the show. I'll probably do a predictions near the end of the week. I'm actually going to be doing another Springbok selection this week. But yeah, give me your thoughts, thumbs up, share, please. I value input, and cheers guys, chat next week. Bye.